of you who don't know us yet, I'm Dara Collins,
I'm Donna Miller-Small.
and we are very excited to be adding, we do a lot of game on narrated gameplay on RealCanasta, and tonight we're excited to add an introduction. Many of you, I recognize the names, are already registered for our tournament. Some of you are here to find out more information.
Not just tournament, our convention.
Convention, yes, yes.
Yeah, Sunday is the tournament, and Saturday is strategy presentation. It's the first time we are going to be co-teaching live together, so we're excited about that.
Yes. So here's the overall Saturday, like Donna said, is a strategy session. Both days are going to start with a welcome continental breakfast and coffee, strategy session by Donna and I. Then after lunch, we're going to have, and lunch is provided, we're going to have social play for prizes. It's an interesting way we do it because with Canasta, it's not apples and apples, it's all different scores. So we're going to have a fun way to give out prizes. Then on Sunday, it's going to be tournament play after breakfast, break for lunch, and then we'll wrap up the day with the awarding of prizes. We're going to have sweet treat in the afternoon. And what's really great is Canasta seems to be kind of going through what Mahjong has been going through lately. And it's just really been exceptionally all of our classes have been standing in waiting room only, and it's really getting a strong Canasta community. So we're really excited to meet people in person.
And we want to thank our sponsors, canastasets.com, Laura Geller Cosmetics, HarperCollins with In the Family Way, Crack Your Bags, who we are teaming up with. We have exciting news that's coming down the pike. And of course, RealCanasta. Did I leave out anybody? I think we're good.
Nope. Well, and if you know anybody that this is who they would like to be in front of, feel free to have them email us if they were like to be a sponsor. So here's more detail of the overview. Doors are going to open at 9:30. It is 110 East 55th. It's pretty easy to get to. If you are in the area and you need more details than that, let us know. The welcome and opening remarks will take place after registration. 10:30, we'll do our strategy presentation. Like Donna said, we've done many strategy presentations, but never in the same place. Then we're going to open it up to questions from people. And what's interesting is the strategy is basically geared towards regular strategy, but with the tournament the next day, there is a difference in if you're playing for a tournament. There's different strategy for that. So we're going to be going over different things, then have lunch, and then follow with several rounds of social play. Players either have told us that they have a partner they want to play with, and that's who they will start with and rotate with them. Or if you want to register on your own, many players are saying to us, I don't have somebody to register with. That's not a problem. We are pairing people up. We're going to ask people are they, advanced beginners? Are they intermediate? Are they advanced? Just to let us know, where you should be paired up. We'll explain how all the prizes and everything works. Then we'll do raffle prizes and closing remarks. We just added, if you have gotten our emails, if you're already registered, you might have seen this. We just added a optional dinner with New York pricing as it is. We have a price fix menu, $65, tax and gratuity. This is not a fundraiser by any means for us. This is just something that we wanted to connect the community. So players will just pay the restaurant directly for their meal. There's going to be a menu printed up. You have a lot of great choices, and then your meal and tax and gratuity. So if you want to be included in that, just send us an email with the subject restaurant to modernamericancanasta@gmail.com.
You know what? We just had a quick question, so you know what? We can answer that.
Sure.
So hold on. Robin, how do you know if you're an advanced beginner or an intermediate? I think, how long have you been playing? How often do you play? Do you play strategically? So those might be some of the things. And if you want to have a conversation with one of us, we'll be happy to call you and talk further. And one of the things I wanted to say, we always strive for quality. in whatever we do. Our to-do list keeps getting longer and longer because we are trying to think of every little thing to make your experience the best with us. So we're happy to do whatever we can to help that happen.
Okay, I'll go to the next page.
Okay, so for Sunday, the doors open at 9:30. We have a check-in, and we have special, do they call it Shaz? I don't know. We have special things that you'll get as you check in. We'll have a light breakfast and coffee and tea. We'll do a welcome and review of the tournament rules. All of you should have the rules. We have included them in almost all our recent emails. We start playing the first round at 10:30. There will be 4 deals. We had to really think about the language. Writing those tournament rules and how we play felt like writing our book. We went over and over and over them to make them clear and fair. And so we are going to do 4 deals. And the points will be 125 for the first deal, 125 for the second, 155 for the third, and 180. That way, every person at the table will get to deal. The meld base is 5, and you all have the rules. If you don't, we will send them to you. We have a lunch followed by additional rounds of play, goodies in the afternoon, and then at 4:45 we will award prizes, and there will be cash prizes and appropriate things.
So like Donna said, the rules have been sent out. We're going to send them again prior to the convention. The meld base is 5. That includes ending the round. So some players, in order to speed up a game sometimes, will allow you to end the round by using a pair of naturals and a wild card. We believe that that changes the meld base. The meld base is 5 the entire game. So that's not permitted. A courtesy special is allowed. And these are just key reminders that we're going over because these are things where people kind of come up with their own rules for. So yes, you can get a courtesy special. So I open, Donna's my partner. Her immediate next turn is the only time that we are 100% sure she has 14 cards because she hasn't put anything down yet. So that turn, she could have a special. After that, the team can no longer get a special. If the pack is empty and you need 1 card for a special hand, that cannot be picked to get your special hand. We do know, before the chat, we do know RealCanasta accepts that. It is one of the very few things that we do not align with their rules. Aces can only be melded with wild cards when you open from your hand. So if you are opening and you have 2 aces and a joker, you could put that down. If you don't do it, then the entire rest of that deal, you cannot add wild cards to aces. When you open, if you are picking the pack and a 10 is on top, your aces could have wild cards. But if you pick the pack with an ace on top, you must stay pure. You cannot add wild cards to that ace. So that's a general rule for regular play. We just want to remind people because that's one of the things we get asked about the most. If you mismeld, a good rule of thumb when you're melding to open is count the cards face down. Make sure you have your pure, make sure you have your points, then flip it all over and let everyone see it. If you don't do that and you're counting face up and you realize, oh, we're at 155, I only have 125, or, oh, I forgot I don't have a pure, you then bring all the cards back in your hand. Then you pick from the stock. You, on your next turn, could meld again if you have the points, that you could do whatever. Your partner now has information that they wouldn't normally have. So they cannot open with pure aces, 7s, or a standalone wild card if your mismelding included any of those. So if you included, 4 aces and then realized you didn't have enough, there would be too much room for collusion. Your partner could open with 3 aces knowing you could complete it. So our handout of rules, our handout of special hands will all be made available at the convention as well. But we just wanted to go over these kind of key concepts here.
Okay, so Saturday's going to be a little different. First of all, we're going to do a PowerPoint presentation, and boy, is it juicy. We thought there was strategy when we wrote 14 chapters in our book, but as we got into doing strategy virtuals, we uncovered even more things. So that'll be in the morning. We'll break for lunch, and then there'll be social play in the afternoon. We're going to try to the best of our ability to group social play by levels. You will move around. It'll be timed. It's going to be more relaxed. We know there's new people coming. They're not tournament players. They may not be longtime players. It's fine. It's going to be a relaxed atmosphere of social play. We'll have refreshments available throughout the day. In the afternoon, we'll have a break for sweet treats. We'll have raffle tickets. We'll be explaining that, and there'll be chances to win some prizes.
So for Sunday for tournament play, each team, either if you requested a team or you're being paired up, each team is going to have a starting table number and a letter, probably A and B. A will be kind of like if you play Mahjong, they will be the East. They will stay seated. At the end of the 4 deals, Team B will get up and go to the next higher table. Once they get to the highest number of tables, they'll loop back around to table 1. So we will be passing out score sheets to everybody. There will be one main scorekeeper from up to 1 player on table A to keep the score each round. They must submit the scores at the end of each round. Each team, because you're scored as a team, each team will also get a score sheet for the whole day if they wish to keep track of their team score for the whole day. So there's going to be 5 rounds with 4 deals per round. And so we could have everybody be the dealer. We're going to have 2 rounds where everybody has to be 125, a round at 155, a round at 180. And each round is timed at 50 minutes. So we are going to be testing this between now and then. The 50-minute round might be adjusted before the game day, but as of right now, we're aiming for 50 minutes for each round.
So here's the time to ask some questions.
And you could do that in the chat, or it's, intimate enough if you want to unmute yourself. So let's see.
Anybody out there?
So I see that Robin had a question. Yeah, we are looking to have other events all throughout. If you know of venues that would be workable for a Canasta convention, let us know. So 50 minutes, Terry, is for all 4 deals. It's for the 2 125s, the 155, and the 180. So that's what we mean by a round, if that makes more sense.
I have a question, if that's okay. Can you talk about picking the pack when you are melding? Because this is always like a discussion, because some people say you need a spare pair in order to pick the pack, like have everything that you need, whatever you need to meld, and then you need 2 more to pick the pack. Or some people say you just don't count, like you would need everything, and then when you pick that top card off the top of, off the pack, that does not count in your meld
Let me jump
score.
in on this one. It's
Okay.
a favorite topic of mine. If you
Yeah.
learned from me 10 years ago, there was no picking the pack when you opened. It came in recent times. It
Okay.
is the thing we get, I think, the most questions about. We stop the presses on our book. Chapter 15, page 44 explains it. And remember when we wrote our book, and those of you who aren't familiar with us, we wrote a book because I had been teaching for years and couldn't get enough information in the handouts I gave. And my handouts have been showing up from, I'm on Long Island, from New Jersey to Virginia to all over the place because there wasn't a complete anthology of standardized rules. So we wrote our book to document the most widely played rules and then added some strategies. Picking the pack to open. Basically, the top card cannot count for anything. You have entree two different ways. With the melds that you are opening with, or an extra pair in your hand. That's the widely played way. It's the way RealCanasta allows, and that's how we do it. I don't know if we described that, Dara, in our tournament rules. We'll go back and look at it, but did I answer your question,
So
Ray?
you need a spare pair on top of.
No,
No, no,
there's
no,
two
no.
ways, the two ways to get the card on the top.
Okay.
One is with the melds you have done, except if they're mixed aces. So if I'm opening with two aces and two wild cards, three pure tens and two eights and a wild card,
Mm-hmm.
I can pick the pack with the 8. I can pick the pack with the pure tens. Or if I have a pair spare, say it's a 5 on top, and I've opened with those cards that I described, and I have an extra pair of 5s, that gives me entree.
Okay.
There's two ways to do it. One is with your melds, the other is with a spare pair.
Okay.
And it seems like some people try to make certain things harder by requiring that it not be part of it or be part of it. We noticed that when we were documenting the most widely played rules, but the most widely played is it doesn't matter where it comes from. It could be part of your initial meld, or it could be the spare pair. That's
Okay, so let me go to some questions. These are all great questions. What happens if time's up and we don't finish the round? That round will not be scored. Both teams will get a 0 for that round. Your other scores previous to that will count. It's the way Mahjong does it. It's the way most tournaments do it. It's the way we're going to do that. So hopefully we answered that question. The other question is, and boy, both Dara and I will weigh in on this, and it's a good question that I really haven't thought about really. What is the biggest strategy difference between?
Oh, I answered in the chat. So let's see.
So you answer it, Dara, and I'm going to think about it.
So for when we wrote our book, the underlying thing that we really have to reinforce to beginners is keep cards in hand, because we noticed that when people first start to play, they match their partner. They just want to get every card on the table they can down. And then they complain, why am I the one that never gets to pick the pack? I always throw the opponent the pack. So we try to reinforce keep cards in hand. And then the other underlying strategy is keeping count of aces and 7s, and don't keep more than 2 aces or 2 7s if aces haven't been melded been melded mixed. When it comes to playing for fun and social games, if the other team is going to be penalized, you might want to forget all that and just get in, get 2 canastas and get out. They have open wild cards. They have open pure aces, pure 7s. They have a ton of 3s, no canastas. You just want to end that round as soon as you can. You know, the most exciting, and you know, it makes me sound cutthroat, but the other day, David and I were playing in RealCanasta. The other team opened with pure aces and wild cards. Why they thought their partner had the other aces, I don't know why, and my very next turn, I got a special hand. So started like negative, you know, whatever. So that is a social game thing that you'd want to do. In tournament play, you just want your points to go up. I mean, yeah, it's nice if you think you're competing with somebody for their points to be penalized, but really you're looking out for your team. So you're not going to want to just get 2 quick canastas and end the round, because that would be somewhat of a low scoring round. So, and there's, you know, there's always an exception to strategy. It might depend on where you are in the round and stuff like that, how your time is. But for the most part, you want to keep the game going and try to keep getting as many canastas as you can.
Right. And yes, to clarify, the 0 is only for the last round, the last deal of 180 points. You will be scored for the 3
Whatever you
deals
finish, yeah.
that you finish. So pacing is important, and we did put that in our information when we gave out the rules, because it's a tournament, and tournaments are different than social play. Even social play pacing, depending on how experienced the players are. I haven't run into that as much, but I've heard people who play a lot have the problem of pacing, and it's too slow at times. But you know what, folks? This is a thinking game also, and you don't want to sit there forever. But my pace is different when I play canasta a lot than when I play mahjong. Um, I had to make a decision last night, actually. Do I have time for a quick story?
Yeah.
This was a decision. My partner took a chance. We were down. We were up and down, and we needed a big win. And I play online with my sister. Dara, we should get on with you and David one of these days. Um, she put down 4 sevens. She took a chance, a risk. And I had 3 sevens in my hand. I could have picked the discard pile given to me. And I said, no, I need to try to draw another 7. Guess what? I drew a 7. We closed out the 7s. That was, you know, that was a decision in the moment. And I had to think about it for a minute. I didn't react. You always want to pick the pack. I had 5s. Were putting down 5 5s, going to help me? No, the 2,500 points made us even Steven with the other team. We were way behind, and that 2,500 points brought us up to 7,000 and 7,000, and then we did the final round. So I needed to think a little bit.
So somebody just asked, let's see, when you meld when opening, do you need the cards before, the point before? So the answer to that is before you pick the pack when opening or to opening, however it makes sense to you, you could have done it last time. You are laying in wait for one reason or another to pick the entire pack of cards. So you could have done it. You had your points, you had your pure. When it's your turn and you are picking the pack to open, that top card never counts, no exception. There's a 10 on top, those 10 points are 0. Since you could never put down 2 cards, if you only put down 2 cards to pick that 10, that whole meld is 0. The only way you get any points for that meld is if you use a 3rd card, either another 10 or a wild card, and then those 3 cards are counted. If you don't put a 3rd card down, if like Ray was asking before, and you're just using it as a extra pair to open, it's not your pure because you only have 2 cards from your hand. You had, and just repeat it to yourself, I had to be able to do this last turn. So you have to have your pure the last turn. You have to have your points the last turn. And I noticed that a lot on RealCanasta, people will take screenshots and say to me, how come I couldn't do it? And all they have to do is move a wild card to the pair that gave them access to the pack, and they would have been able to do it. So sometimes it's just placement that gives you the pack. If you have 3 6s, 2 10s, and 2 jacks, and you're putting 2 of the jokers on the jacks and not on the 10s, when you move that joker over, it might give you enough points to get the pack. And I don't think I did the right point there, but
Doesn't matter. It can't count for anything. It's an extra card. It counts for 0 points when you're opening. And you have to have, like Dara said, you have to have the required point count. You have to have your 3 pure. So it's an extra card. It's confusing, and it's a snarkier way of playing. Dara learned with this. I taught for 10 years before this came in, and it is what it is. It's not my favorite way to play the game and it's very confusing to new players. Okay, Leslie, here we go.
Yeah, you can move wild cards while you're first setting up your hand. While you're first doing your initial meld, you can move your wild cards around. Once you give your card to your partner and you can tell them where you want them to mail wild cards, you know, if you're already open and it's your turn, they can't tell you where you should put your wild cards. You're the one that drives that decision.
And just a couple of FYIs, we've been asked some really good questions. And if you think about questions after tonight, email them to us. If you have strategy questions, we will include them in the strategy session. We will present and we will have plenty of time for questions. For the tournament, we were asked about card shufflers. We're allowing it. You know, I don't know that it speeds up. People think if you want to use a card rack to hold your cards, you need to bring your own. We hope to have extra decks of cards to speed up the shuffle and the dealing. So we're trying to make this as pleasant and efficient as possible, and we're open for any questions or suggestions because we want to make it the best experience that we can have with you. Were there other questions? Jerry had a question here.
So we do say that late is played. I think we do have a line that says you can adjust your wild cards before discarding when you first open. I think that's the one.
Yes. There are times that I don't know why RealCanasta ends the game when I think usually RealCanasta is going to end the game when the cards run out. And they show you the turn card. So what does I'm sorry, what did
Once you place your melds down, you know, they're stuck. But sometimes if somebody puts down 2 10s to pick the pack and realize that they didn't put a joker on it, and if they move the joker, then they're allowed to meld, that is permitted. It's late is played in the sense of once you put down, let's say you're opening and you realize you didn't need those 3 6s, that you had enough points, you can't then take those back.
we were asked the address again. We will be in touch frequently with you and giving you reminders of where we are meeting. It's the Honors Bridge Club. It's 110 East 55th Street, I believe.
Yes.
Is that correct, Dara?
Yes.
Is the right address? Okay. Other questions before we
Yeah, when you get to the turn card, you should announce turn card, and your hand should always be, the card should always be up on top of the table or in your card holder. So it should always be obvious when you're down to 3 cards or below. But yes, as a rule / courtesy, you should announce when you're down to 3 or below cards.
Yes, I had a woman in my class yesterday who kept putting her cards down on the table. We couldn't see them. You know, I kept saying, got to put your cards in your hand. I mean, she only had 3 cards, but we couldn't tell. It's in for, and folks, you want to know, a tip? Watch what's being thrown. Watch what your partner is throwing. That's information. It can be helpful information. And of course, whoever you're playing with, and if we're pairing you with a partner, you're going to need to ask them about signaling aces and sevens. It's, as important as holding pairs in your hand and enough cards. You don't want to be loading up that pile with sevens. Online, there are people that just keep throwing them. I don't know if you found that, Dara, but we get in and we play an advanced game and we see people dumping sevens and we pick the pack and get a pair of sevens canasta. So it's a partnership game. And the other thing I will tell you, my partner, who's usually my sister, knows when I open, if I only have 3 or 4 or 5 cards, and we signal sevens, that's a free throw a 7 time because I might not have a lot of good cards in my hand to throw. So we give each other a pass to throw a 7 right after we open, particularly if it's early, we're not loading up the pack, or when we need 155 or 180, we know a 7's going out because we're likely going for a special hand. So having that understanding with your partner is important.
And it's interesting, Leslie just asked, are multi-level racks permitted? And you're more than welcome to use whatever rack works. I mean, you can't stack your cards that other players can't see how many you have. Personally, and I take this from Mahjong, from poker, the less information you're giving about your cards and about your hand, the better. And I
Oh.
feel, I know Donna liked them because it was easier to spread out. I mean, you hold your cards, but
I never use a rack,
you
but
were
I
saying your
bought them
friends
for her.
liked the multi. I think
Yeah.
it gives away too much information because how are you sorting them? You're sorting them by grouping. So people know how many pairs you have, how many triples you have. I just think one rack with all the cards with no spaces is the way to go.
Right. Unless, well, if you're picking the discard pile and you have all those cards, you know, you got to do what works for you. If you're playing in a tournament, it might give more information away. If you're playing socially, I don't, I don't think it's a big deal. Those were the racks available. That's kind of what we bought. If someone is holding cards in their hand and you can't see, yes, you could ask them. If they're not holding their cards so you could see, sure, you can ask them. Yeah.
So Jerry said, it was asking, is it better in tournament to try to go for a special, perhaps postponing melding? That might be the way to go, but it's also just reading the room, reading the cards. What's frustrating to me is when I'm going for a special and I could have melded, and then my partner starts discarding cards that they could have added to my canastas if I had opened. And you always have to keep track of if your special includes cards that the opponent melded, are they close to closing that card? Because you can use it in a special, but you won't be able to use it to open. So there's so many, I always picture, and if you've, sorry to bore you if you've already been on a lot of our Zooms, but Canasta reminds me of the sketch drawing of the person at the circus spinning plates fast enough so none of them fall. There's so much in each discard that you're thinking of. I mean, it's such a great, game in that sense of, is this the right discard? Should I tempt them to pick the pack? Should I? So it just depends.
It depends. And as we talk about in strategy, your decision, the most important variables of strategy, we think, one, timing of the round, beginning, middle, end. Are your opponents open? If you're waiting to go for a special and they're open, you want to get in the game, ideally. So we came up with nuanced decision making very early in writing our book, but there are variables that will guide your decision making. And we want to have fun, folks.
Donna, I'm just mentioning this to you as an aside. Freeman asked about with eyesight and quality cards. We should check on what brand cards that they have. I don't think there would be any problem if somebody needs to play with certain larger cards, if they bring 4 sets. If you do bring your own card, I mean, we'll discuss it off camera, but definitely, and this is also me kind of paying attention to what's being discarded. For each round, the back of the card should all be the same color, if possible. So
Yes, we're going to do the best we can. We can ask the Bridge Club. We will have extra cards, but yes, and folks, this is another thing to think about or let us know. If you have a special need, if you have trouble moving from table to table, let us know. We'll put you as team A that won't have to move. If you need to have a lot of room, if you have a walker or a cane, we're happy to assist and facilitate your experience the best that we can. So
this happened to just be asked by Ray, and it just happened to be one of the visuals that I had in this same deck. So I just put this up. But, so I will let you answer the questions while I stop the share.
Does each team, wait a minute, scoring, yes, you have to announce the turn card. If you were down to 3, 2, or 1 card, yes, you announce that. And someone asked about scoring. Does each team count their own cards at the end of the hand? I think we have a scorekeeper. The
I think
dealer,
what they're referring to is the individual, like who does the actual scoring of like the card count and stuff like that.
Do you remember what we put down? I mean, you're going to count the cards at the table so everybody can see them. I imagine it's got to be the team that's counting their cards. Your opponents aren't going to be able to do that. They're not sitting with your cards. They could be, but it's you putting them in numbers, and we want your competitors to verify what they are. So it's a good question. Okay. All right, so all good questions. If you have more, where does it pick the pack while melding? We already covered that,
No,
hopefully.
she means the actual procedure. So you put
Oh.
your pair to the side. I mean, you put the pack to the side, you put your whole meld out, and then you add the top card. So really, and Jerry had touched on it before, you know, we talk about late is played. There are certain times, RealCanasta doesn't have the equivalent of like a dead hand or a you're out. I mean, the round continues. So if you do something that is not permitted by the rules, if you go to pick the pack and you can't do it, or there's no valid discards, you got to put it back. So once you touch it, if you can pick the pack and do it, you have to, but there's exceptions when you can't do something. So,
Right, and remember, if you're not used to a 5-card meld base, you got to remember, there's got to be 5 natural cards there after you open, after with a capital, before a wild card can be added. So if you're not used to playing 5, you're going to have to keep that in mind. Okay.
so on our YouTube, we had a prior RealCanasta tutorial that we did probably 2 years ago, and they changed some settings. So we just did a very quick one the other night. That's on our YouTube channel. If you don't belong to RealCanasta, it's a 2-week free membership. We put medium speed for demonstrating. You could pick when you play, even if you're playing against the computer, this is how fast the computer discards cards. So slow, medium, or fast. This is called meld base. This is what they're talking about here. For now, we put it on invisible mode so nobody could join us and we don't have to decline anybody. And then we start the game. And then I have it on auto melding 3s. So as soon as there's a 3 in my hand, it's going to get rid of it. I have it on auto sort. It sorts my cards. You don't have to do that. You could sort your own cards. These, if you've never played on this, it's a bird's eye view. These are our cards right here where it says press pick. Game. The one thing that's easy to remember in Canasta is everything goes clockwise. So this is the next player.
Kept cutting the cards.
Right.
Cutting the cards, go to the right. I had a challenge on that a few weeks ago. I played in a game where the woman swore everything went to the left. No, and we did a video on it. The person to the right cuts the cards and does the 8.
So the
in the
computer
9.
1 is to your left, computer 2 is your partner across from you, computer 3 is here.
Boy, this looks like a possible special hand here.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
the first thing I always do is I look to see how far away I am from a special. If you've never played on RealCanasta, here's their little wheel. If you go up to I, it shows their listing of special hands. Since we don't have any wild cards, normally, strategically wise, I get rid of higher value cards where possible, because I feel like later on, the lower valued ones give you more access to picking the pack. But since we don't have wild cards, I would discard either a 4 or a 5 here.
Right. We have 6 single cards. So yeah, take the 4 or the 5. And the good thing about this game is if you're struggling to open, we don't have any wild cards, that partner might have a bunch.
And the other day I was playing, I barely got any wild cards the entire day. And I got, between my mom and myself, out of 2 games, we had 7 special hands. And the other team had 3 wild card canastas. So it just showed how differently the cards were, you know, given out.
It's a game of luck and skill. You still got to get the cards. Dara keeps cards up and it shows how many points you have on the bottom left of the screen.
So here I'm just still getting rid of single cards. We're far from having 125.
Our opponents haven't opened yet. A
Yeah.
lot of times those bots get those wild cards. Interesting.
Oh, all right. So here's our first wild. So here I think I'll get rid of the queen.
Yeah, you like to throw the higher
I
cards.
feel like people keep face cards. I just picture cards. So I'd rather get rid of that.
Oh, they're opening. Speak of the devil. With aces and fives. Okay, and there's 14 cards in that pack, so it's not a bad pack. Ooh, hadn't seen a 9 before.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So we just saw, you could always look back. So they threw an 8 when they picked the pack. And Donna, can you just see, I see on my end, there's a chat question, but I don't want to move it over.
Yeah, question about RealCanasta. We'll ask. It's about special hands. They have a lot of the same special hands we do. However, they have others. So you can look at them. The most common special hands are the zip code and the pairs. And the zip
And
code.
the one thing that we discussed when we were writing our book is we noticed regionally, several places did not either didn't accept the zip code or made it harder or lowered the value.
Dara, they just closed out aces, so that's
Yeah.
going to be a safe card to throw.
Yeah. So now we're hoping either for a 2 or at least another card to be able to open.
Partner's going to dump an
So
eight.
when we value the zip code, we value it at 1,500 because there'll be several times where I will have any of 3 cards that I could get the zip code.
And if you know, oh my goodness. Do you think we might get a splash? 2, 4, 5. Oh man. So what are we going to throw them, Dara?
I mean, I guess we throw the 10. I mean, we could throw the king and go for the zip code, but then we'd need the 2. I really don't want to have to use that many cards to open.
Should we break
So
up the nines?
we haven't, this is an important topic. We haven't reached the turn card yet. So technically we can, oh no, we don't even have enough to open because we only could use the wild card on one of the pairs.
No way. And also the player to the right of us is sitting with a ton of cards. The question is, they've been throwing 9s. Do we break up a 9 to protect the pack?
Sure.
I mean, he could have been baiting us. He has less cards than his partner does. So they're dumping 9s. My partner had aces.
Oh.
All right.
That would have set us up. That would have set us up for a zip code.
8.
And once, oh, good.
Oh, our partner's opening.
Once the canasta's closed and there's a black card on top, you know there's at least one wild card. You cannot look beneath it to see what wild card it is.
All right. So do we match with anything? We match with 6s. Good. A king he threw out. Oh, that would have been nice to have kings. Maybe they'll throw us a king. A 10. See, that was a smart card. I think
so. Do we put out 3 kings?
Yeah, I would, and close out the 6s.
All right, so let's close out so now that's interesting. So if it was earlier on in the game, I might not close them out mixed. Since they have 2 and you don't know if they're just holding cards back that they could meld, I would close it out now just to.
Our partner only has 3 cards and they opened with 3 6s. So, you know, we don't need to get greedy. We want to,
but just to at least offset those 3s. I'm just saying that timing of the round dictates. Do that now.
When a partner only has 3 cards, I mean, you know.
You know what? Do we just put all 5 kings down?
in case they only have two, 3 cards. Are they gonna have 2 wilds to go out with? But I would put 3 and maybe we can bait the guy for the
I
pack.
mean, would we even pick the packet?
Well, would we even pick the pack? Because there's 3 aces in there. Uh,
I don't think we would pick it at this point.
Probably. Oh, and we're down. No, we wouldn't put the kings up.
And what about the 10?
Yeah,
And then get rid of the 9?
yeah, the 9. I baited these people the other night. It was at the end. They had canastas. They picked the pack. They got stuck with 7s and aces. And I
Oh,
purposely.
wow, look at that.
Oh, so we matched. Cool.
That was nice. They had 2.
Yeah, that was a good thing. All right, so we
So
have
they got a nice talon there. So jacks. Do we
do you think
sacrifice the queen?
do you think they're gonna pick jacks with all the bad stuff in there with 3 aces? Are there that many?
I mean, so there's 4 closed canastas. So and then they can't close 8s because we have 4. They could close 10s. They could close queens. They would definitely close 9s, 4s, jacks. So
Our partner didn't throw a 7 yet, so we don't want to dump a 7.
no.
Uh,
I mean, the safer discard would be the queen.
have
Our
queens
partner's
to
not going to be
throw?
able, our partner's not going to be able to put a wild card down if they have a wild card in hand because we don't
Do you
have
think
5.
that they might have a pair of queens sitting over there?
Less likely than a pair of
All
jacks.
right, you know what? I throw the queen because if we pick a jack in, we could end the round.
Yep.
That's the reason. The bots count 7s and aces, and they're pretty.
Yeah, but our partner might have another wild card.
They might. Through a queen. Let's get a jack. No. Oh.
It's the last card. They're not going to have their partner's help.
Oh, no. Yeah. I mean, I throw the jack. You know.
Oh, that's interesting. They had both.
Right, but
7s
you
and
count.
jacks.
Yeah, 7s. That was the card to throw because I don't know how many 7s were in there. They had their
Well,
partner had two.
their partner would have been able to close it with them, but their partner wouldn't have had a turn. So
They wouldn't have to. It's always safer not to throw. And they knew they were the bots count. So we had pretty much of an even round. They had more 3s than we did. That swung the round, I think.
yeah.
And nobody picked the discard pile. All right,
Yeah.
we have time. Yeah. We have time to keep going.
Yes, I'm just getting my charger.
An important thing. Anybody have any questions while we're gearing up for the next round?
Okay, good.
It was interesting. Nobody picked the discard pile.
Yeah.
Yet we still both closed out canastas and no wilds here again.
The other day I started with five 7s in hand.
Wow.
So it's not a great idea to keep the automatic 3 on if you're a new player, because then when you play in person, you might forget. So now there's 1 7 in hand. The way I keep track is I think of it as a 2-digit number. I put the 10s position is the aces, the 1s position, the 7s. So right now it's just 1. If somebody put in 2 aces in the pack, it would be 21.
This guy threw us a 7. What did our partner throw, Dara? Oh,
So do we want to get rid of a 7 at this?
There's 2 schools of thought here. Are we going to try for a special hand? Do we want to keep it for a triple? Will it give our partner a way to throw a 7? Sometimes I'll keep an extra 7 because if it'll be a safe discard later on.
Right. And also if computer 3 just threw 1, computer 1 might follow and throw. And then all of a sudden our partner it might be that we could get all 7.
Right, but they probably have 2. The bots are programmed. He's got 2 over there.
No, I'm saying since computer 3 threw it, now computer 1 could unload their 7s.
Yes. They
So maybe
could.
we throw the 5 for now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's two schools of thought. It would give, yeah, you're right. If there's that many sevens floating around, our partner may not have one.
And then on the other hand, you have to keep in consideration, does our computer 1 and 3 good at getting specials? Are they gonna, and then
Oh, they'll be programmed, yes.
or just in general, whoever you're playing with.
Yeah. Well, that's knowing your partner. If you're,
Interesting.
Mm,
Now I think we get rid of the 7 and try to go for a pairs hand,
yes. Yes, okay.
because we don't need wild cards. And even if we pick, and I always laugh, you could always tell when someone's going for pairs and they pick a 2 because they're so excited. And they go, "Ugh."
It screws it up. Oh,
All right. Oh, wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So for now, I think we keep the kings because we could always segue to a zip
yeah.
code.
Use that, well, or zip code, or if we pull
Yeah.
in a wild card, we have a
So
pure.
So far, here's our pairs. I just like lifting them up.
Oh, they're opening. Those lucky little bots.
Wow, they're using a lot of cards.
They are. Is he picking the pack with the queen?
No.
All right. And he throws an ace. Interesting.
Oh, see,
Oh,
there's our.
that too.
All right, so between the 9 and the 10, do you feel lucky for either one?
Anything thrown?
When I'm narrating like this, I don't remember as well as when I'm
Yeah,
playing.
look back 3.
Yeah, no, nothing, no help.
The queen. I don't know. It's going to be a crap. We got to play our hand. If they pick the pack, ooh,
All
we'll
right.
be lucky because there's
Right.
20 cards in there. Whoa. All right, he closed out jacks. Boy, the bots are getting, and he had 2 queens.
So now we're hoping for a 2 and a 10.
Yeah. My partner threw a 7 because we told him he could.
All right, so now that we have 3 of a kind, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groupings. Do we get rid of the 4 or do we get rid of the 8 and go for a zip code?
What about the 10?
If we get rid of the 10, we could get rid of, then we're going for, yeah, we wouldn't be going for the straight anymore. I mean,
No.
the pairs hand.
Uh,
If we get rid of the 4, we could still go for the pairs hand.
yeah, I guess the 4. They probably were thrown. We'll see. They're not needing to pick the pack again. They're winging and dinging there.
Well, at least our partner had a safe discard.
Oh, they're putting everything down to go out. He just threw a 5.
All right, come on, partner.
Yeah. Must have had 3 aces. Sometimes you're just not getting the cards. Ugh. Oh, we could have had so many nice kings together. Ugh.
No,
We're down to 6 cards, unless they open. I want to know where all the wild cards are.
maybe
didn't
our
have
partner
that
has a
many.
bunch and yeah.
They must have, yeah. And still probably not, what, 3 aces.
Could we,
Nah, we don't
nope,
have it.
not close to the
No
ace.
way. Throw the ace, absolutely. We're coming down to the end.
Yep. Wow.
Boy. Could we have made such nice music together with those kings?
Oh, God.
Now we picking the joker. Well, there's no cards left.
No. And so what's interesting is it is basically a waste of time to go down, because the only thing that would happen is if
Open.
computer one picked the pack and then had a discard, and then our partner picked the pack. I mean, it just,
They're not picking the pack. They don't need
so
to.
do we
They
have
got two
anything
canastas.
safe? Um,
You gonna throw them a king?
I think, I mean, normally I go a high value card. I think we just throw a 4. We know they didn't pick it.
Yeah, I don't think they'd pick it. There's 7s in there, but it doesn't matter.
Do a kingman. Oh, so
Moving.
there, yeah.
What was their partner? Where are all the jokers?
Well, they have 3,
They had-
they have 4, and then there are 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, yeah. And our partner was going for a special. All right, folks. Hopefully they need 155. No,
Wow.
they're right 2990. They're right underneath.
Yeah,
And
that's a
we don't-
great, that's a great way to time it.
it is. Maybe that's why they wouldn't have picked. I know you want to give them the king. I mean, when you don't have the points to open, oh my goodness. We just can't catch a break here.
And that's funny, we matched lovely with them.
Yeah.
Doesn't help.
All right, partner. Well, they had a big joker. Throw him the queen.
Yeah. What's weird is, I think in all of these rounds, we haven't picked the pack, have the, see, I jinxed it. They
There
did.
they go. No, the first 2 rounds, nobody picked the pack.
That's odd.
All right, we still have a chance here. Come on.
So we only have one. We only have 1 wild, so we can't use any of those. Do we just get rid of the 8?
I guess so. Do you think we need the 4s? But all right, throw the 8.
Well, right now, 1, 2, 3,
Oh,
4,
for a
5,
special.
6, 7. Yeah.
Here's another big joker they have.
Yeah. If we get a 2 and a 7.
Mm-hmm.
They are rocking and rolling.
There's the 3rd joker. When you see that, and we got it. We're going for a special hand.
So do we get rid of the 4s and go for a zip code?
2-2. Well, yeah, I guess so, because they have 6s, but yeah, I mean, they picked the pack before. Yeah, dump the 4. We pull in a joker, maybe it'll help us open.
So I like lifting those just to see the pairs that I have, but
Lay
for
down 9s.
point wise, we can't use those yet until we
All
get
right,
more.
come on.
All right, that's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw out the 4.
We really need to pick in a 2.
Yeah, we do, and then dump the 7, I guess.
Oh, or we don't need to do
Okay.
anything.
All right, here's our partner. Come on.
Oh, interesting
Mhm.
aces.
Drew a jack because they have jacks down.
Hmm.
Do we match with anything? Not much.
Aces. That's it, just the aces.
The king.
Oh, well, very
All
nice.
right, good. Yeah.
So,
3.
and I think you put them all down, right?
Yeah. We should be able to close this out.
Yeah.
One more wild. All right. Finally. Jeez.
So now, do we put
Mm.
all 4 6s down and maybe discard a jack?
Good question. And where have 10s been? Yeah, they have 3 jacks. We have 4. Ugh.
We only have we only have 3 jacks, we have 4 sixes. So we have more of a chance to close the sixes than the jacks.
Well, we have 4 and they have 3. That's 7. So there's only 1 6 on the loose.
Right, right. No,
Well,
yeah,
would you dump the 6? And well, the question is, they're not going to throw us a jack. And what does
yeah,
that
I would dump the jack. I would keep the jacks as somewhat safeguards.
mean to throw?
Mhm.
All right.
Because, I mean, they probably have a 10.
But yeah, put the 6s out. They're never going to throw us a 6.
No, but I would assume, I mean, we don't want our partner to think we have 7s and start dumping them.
Yeah, well, if I was playing with you at this point, we know it's coming to the end and
Right.
that, ugh.
But just to get 30 points isn't necessarily worth it.
No, it isn't.
So I think
Okay.
we get rid of a
Yeah,
jack.
give them the
I
jack.
mean, they could still have 2, but it's less
Yeah.
likely. Now let's hope our partner has a 6. No,
Yeah, the
that's
8.
all they had.
Must have gotten aces in the talon.
Yeah.
Ah,
We did.
well, good luck. Good. And the jack. Yeah.
Hello to my dog.
Ah. Do they have wilds?
That's interesting that they put the natural first and then the 2. I usually try to close. the
They got
canasta
4s.
first if I can, yeah.
They got them in the pack.
Oh,
Ooh.
boy.
Would you take the pack? Is there anything
We would
good in
be,
it?
you would get 3 aces.
Yeah.
I mean, we
He's
definitely,
only got 2 cards over there.
there's still a 3 out there.
Oh, right.
So because there's only 7 3s out. Now, somebody could have it in their hand if they were going for a straight.
And there's not
Probably
enough
not.
3s to swing it to take the hit. I'd say no.
Yeah, so just to go elaborate on that for people to, see.
So if we had 1,000 or 1,500 points of 3s and we wanted to get those, we'd pick the pack. So we'd get the 3s and maybe we'd neutralize that if we got stuck with aces, and there might be other good stuff in there. But
Because what I usually would do is like right now, this 575, that's in settings, that's our current count. So if I'm not sure what I'm going to do, and let's say I decide to pick the pack, at the end, I compare what I would have had if I didn't and what I had. And we might get hit with the aces in hand if, let's say, we can't, get rid of all the aces and 7s, but the value in closing the canastas, they already have 3 closed canastas. So there's not going to be, and there's not that much in the pack, I think, that would make it worth it.
no, and they had 3 big jokers to close out stuff. They had a lot of wild cards. Yeah.
So if anybody has, commentary on what they
Comments or
would do, or
thought.
if they disagree.
Yeah, but that's the decision. That's why you're going to sit and think for a minute. They closed out 5s, but all right, we're going to throw the jack.
Oh, I would have put the 5 out if I
It
realized.
doesn't matter. They're not going to. He threw the queen. He's down. He's got 3 kings.
Oh, so there's the 3. So at least we get, oh no, we don't get any
They
points.
don't get it.
All right, come on. We want to pick a wild card.
A wild card. Come on.
Yay.
Good. Hey, we got our 3s.
And now you said they closed the 5. So we have
Yeah,
a
so we
straight
dumped the
discard, which is
5.
always great. So now it's a very even round because of that 3s.
Yeah.
Wow, look at all those 7s going in there.
Mm. Well, gotta.
Oh, how lovely. They only have 1 card, so I don't have to
So
worry.
it doesn't matter, and you put the 8 up and we throw the 10.
Well, silly question. Our partner just threw a 7.
True.
Do we load the pack with the deck with 7s in case
I
they?
would dump the 10-point card to get 10 points. You want to load the pack in case our partner would pick it and they
Yeah,
threw.
I think that was the 4th 7.
Oh, and he's got 1. Would
I mean, I would think our
five-
partner would
How
have
many cards are there? There's 3 cards,
Mhm.
and maybe he's forced to throw 7. All right, because 3. But the question is, he won't throw a seven. This guy isn't going to pick the pack and get sevens, is he? The bot to our right.
Well, I would assume that with all the cards on the deck that are closed, that our partner would have something safe.
Okay, I'll try the
I
seven
mean, it's
then.
risky, a little risky, but
Yeah, look, we risked yesterday putting down, she put down 4 sevens.
oh, he put an 8. So, yep, he threw a dead card.
Yeah.
All right, so we
Yeah,
can end
okay.
the round. So,
Oh man, they're really, well, they're going to need, well, not quite 180. They're going to need 155. We're going to go to 815. Do you want to do one more?
yeah, we could try.
Yeah. And if you guys have to
Oh
go,
my goodness, what
be
a
on,
deal.
we'll be on. Oh, we finally got some decent cards here. We
Look at
finally got the
this.
Joker.
Oh my,
3 sevens. Well, not with Jokers, a special hand will we get. Um,
so because of that, so if that was a 2, I would say let's keep the aces and sevens for a special hand. Since
yeah.
it's a joker, the odds of getting another joker are slim, I would get rid of the 7.
Yeah, and it gets our partner to get rid of a 7 if
Yeah.
they need to try to open. 20, 40, 60, 80. We have 130 points right there.
Yeah,
Uh,
all we need is an 8.
yeah, only one with all those aces. We don't have. All right, yeah, the 4. So we
4.
need a pure to open.
Yep.
When you have that many aces, it takes up real estate.
If our partner threw an ace and then the player playing to us threw an ace, would you pick the pack?
Oh, for pure? Well, we're
Yeah.
not open.
No, I'm saying, would you open,
Oh, and
stay
pick the
pure?
pack
If you
with
if
that?
you had the points, would you open and stay pure?
Uh, I don't know.
Ooh, are we opening?
I would.
Okay,
Yeah.
just making
Yeah, we
sure.
got with aces in that? Absolutely.
So I'm not going to put the 5th one.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah. And
Uh,
the reason we're doing that is once you have 5 cards melded, then your team cannot pick the pack with an ace on top
right.
because
So
that
if
would
our
give you
partner
8
is sitting
cards.
with 2, we want him to be able to pick it.
And as a strategy, if I'm playing with somebody and they open with aces, and I now know I'm not going to open with aces, I don't discard an ace at the very next turn because most people are keeping aces to help them open. So I usually
Absolutely.
give it a little time before I discard an ace.
Important strategy.
Do you think a 9?
Yeah, a 9 or a king.
Okay.
Hopefully our partner is going to have some pairs in their hand. It's another 7.
So there's 2 in the pack already, and now we have 3.
My partner probably doesn't have any because they haven't thrown any.
No, they threw 1. They just threw 1
Oh, they
before.
did. Okay, I didn't see. All right, and pick a card. Good, dump a 7. So what do we have? How many sevens in there? We threw 2 and our partner threw 1. They're opening. So there's 3 in there, Dara. 0, 3.
I
Oh, they're
believe
using
it's
a lot of.
3. It
Boy,
might
they
be
must
4.
have wild cards.
See if
Oh,
I threw. Yeah.
and they used aces. How
Oh,
did
wow. Another 7.
Wait a minute. How did they open at 155 with only 2 wilds?
Because they had aces.
Yeah, but still.
Oh, boy.
Oh, jeez. Ah, they had a courtesy special. All right,
All right,
folks.
so you see how that works.
Listen, we're good players, but we just weren't picking the cards.
Yep.
We were not picking the cards tonight. So,
And there was one game on that we did like 2 ago where I've never seen such amazing cards. We had aces.
oh, we
and
did. Yeah,
so, I mean,
we
yeah, some days.
knocked it out of the
You know
park.
what? There was a day where I got no wild cards and we were winning just because of the way that the specials were working and everything. So,
It's still a game of luck, folks.
yep.
We think that, it's skill. I think there's more skill than Mahjong. but it's still up. So thank you all for coming. We can't wait to see you in October. Those of you, if you haven't signed up and you're want to think about coming, then come on to the Big Apple.
Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great night.
Bye for now.